Right, Joanne, can you just explain to me a little bit about the Stories of Hope pack that gets given out to prisoners?
So the reason why the packs work is because I guess it's like the contextualization of the gospel. We understand what's important to people in prison. That might sound like foolishness to us sitting here. But for instance, if you know when you're in prison, people's photos are really important to them, but they have to use toothpaste to put them on their wall. So we understood that maybe providing like something like this, it's just like a little cardboard frame with double tape stuck on it, and then little slips. And on these, they've got like a little space to write a prayer. And so the idea is you can create a prayer frame that looks like this. See?
That's lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but predominantly this is what was getting people really interacting with faith, and then maybe they would look at the word for the day, which was like a concrete word. But what came back whenever we sent these out, initially they were just designed to help people engage with faith and to produce something beautiful that was important to them. We were getting reports of how it was lowering the self-harm. It was working really well with some very complex prisoners. And I suppose whenever you look at the psychological modelling of that, just the kinesthetic nature of it and the concreteness of it is the thing that we understood that really worked.
Yeah.
I'm an artist to start with, so to be able to have access to a pack like that, for me, as a distraction pack, because you're in the cell, telly's rubbish. So you open that pack up, but from the very beginning, the pack's in recycled paper, everything's beautiful in the pack. So you open that up and then it's just got so much in it. It's like being a child again. So there's stuff to do if you're into Sudoku, there's stuff to do if you're into creative writing, there's stuff to do if you're into art. There's tactile stuff so you can make things, crosses out of loads of really beautiful coloured, I think it's threads and what you knit with, wool, yeah. You're 23 hours behind that door. Yeah. Now, when it comes to times of depression or drug use or self-harm, them packs take you away from that. So you colour that picture in, it takes you 2 hours, say, but you're 2 hours not in that prison cell. Yeah. And you feel vibrant. And, you know, when you rely on something like that, it's a beautiful thing to have, because the prison won't even give you paper. You know, if you ask for paper from the printer, they won't give you it. You know what I mean? So there's all those things in a distraction pack.
And it just became part of my daily structure. I'd get up in the morning, make a cup of coffee, I'd read the word for the day, and God really spoke to me through that so much. He always seemed to have something to say to me that I'd just be spot on for that day. And it became part of my structure, but also, I mean, just the little things like photo frames. If you've just landed in prison and you've got nothing and you're in an empty cell, a photo frame to put a photograph on your wall, like it might sound like nothing, but it is a big thing. And yeah, just having something to do.
Yeah.
It's that praise and that sort of telling you like that you've done well and what wonderful work you've done. Like it makes you feel that you've achieved something, and it's something to focus on. It's something to fill your days with, to fill your time with. And ultimately for me, the main thing for me was getting God's word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So they're invaluable in my eyes.
Good.
Because in a place where there's not much positivity and light, if it wasn't for people like Junction 42 who were going in there and taking Jesus and taking the light into the darkness, there wouldn't be any.
And can you just tell us about the impact of the Benefact Trust funding that you had for the Stories of Hope programme?
Well, in COVID, we had taken our learning as a regional charity. We're predominantly based in the Northeast, but we knew how to interact with prisoners and we knew what worked. And so when we heard that prisoners all over the country were behind the door for 23.5 hours a day with no means of communication or really doing anything, and a lot of fear in those times, people didn't really know or understand what was happening. They weren't, really party, and even not being known what was happening with their loved ones and things. We just kind of got in touch with prison headquarters and we said, we've got some resources that are really working in the Northeast. And anyhow, an unbelievable opportunity came up where every prison chaplain in the country was offered our resource. And at first we thought it was just a COVID response, and 12,000 packs went out to all prisons. And we thought, wow, this is amazing. But that increased and increased, and today that is still growing, and now we distribute 25,000 in-cell worship packs every quarter. So that's about 24% of the prison population are asking chaplains for these packs. And so the benefact, if you think about it, we're a regional charity with regional funding models, and all of a sudden we've got a national move. And so the benefact was one of 3 organisations that committed to giving us multi-year funding to allow it to happen. And so it's not just about those prisoners. I think thinking about those chaplains and how we've really helped impact their ministry to reach hundreds of prisoners that they might otherwise not have had any contact with, and just really sharing that resource. And it's been phenomenal. So partnering with the Benefact Trust has been transformational for us, from growing from a regional impact to national, really.